Something very special to show you here today. This is our April 2024 on a 24 plate Volkswagen Transporter T6.1 T32 Highline DSG Kombi. This one's got the 2-litre bi-turbo TDI 204 PS, roughly 204 brake horsepower. Short wheelbase, as I mentioned, Highline Kombi, finished in the fantastic Ascot grey. This van is not white, if it may appear like that in the camera here. This is, as I say, Ascot grey, which is this absolutely stunning sort of pastely solid colour. There is no VAT on this particular van, and what we're going to do in this video is have a little walk around. I'll show you the spec that you get on a Volkswagen Transporter T6.1 Highline DSG Kombi of this age. There is an incredible optional extras list on this particular van, which I will talk through with you. And of course, we'll have a really close look at the condition, what we've done to it during our preparation, getting it ready for sale. So starting here then at the rear of the vehicle, we can see that this one is spec'd with a rear glazed tailgate. So a tailgate is one door which comes up like so. We can tell this is factory with the factory glass because we can see the heating elements here in the screen, and it's also got the rear wiper with the wash facility there as well. Really nice bit of spec to have, but this is how you see most factory Highline Kombis, is with a rear glazed tailgate like that. Certainly the preferred option, I would say. The first factory optional extra to speak of then back here, and that is the reversing camera. Of course, that is accompanied with the standard rear parking sensors, so you do get rear parking sensors and front parking sensors on a T6.1 as standard on the Highline model. Rear camera is not standard, so that's a nice factory fitted extra on here. In terms of condition, and you'll very much see this as a theme as we go around the entirety of the van, but this is basically as clean as you are going to find a used vehicle. If they were all like this when they arrived to us, it would make my job a lot easier, I can assure you. There is effectively nothing to fault on this van. It really is in remarkable condition, which I guess is what you'd expect to find on a 24 plate van with 5,000 miles, but this one is particularly clean. The person who's had it previously has obviously very much looked after it during their care. In the back then, we can see that this one is fully carpet lined. There'll be some insulation behind here as well. What I would class as a sort of a combi level of insulation. Of course, you can go a lot further with this if you're planning on sleeping in the back of here, and you could take these boards off and do extra insulation if you wanted to, but it's certainly, as I say, a nice level of insulation behind here. And you've also got a suede headlining as well, which certainly adds a touch of luxury into the back, but a lovely job on the carpet lining, as you can see there. That is all inside the rear tailgate as well, but yeah, really spot on professional job. Now the eagle-eyed viewer will see these two humps on the side here, and that tells us that this van has got twin electric side loading doors. So twin side loading doors, which is on its own a really nice bit of spec to have, but seeing those there, that's where the motors are housed. This tells us they are electrically operated. This is the correct placement of the factory toolkit, of course. And in the back of here, the previous owners had put these lovely overmats in here. I don't know where they've got these from. If you're watching this previous owner, please let me know, because I'd like a set for my van. But these are very, very nice indeed. And of course, they've done a lovely job of keeping the factory floor underneath there in tip-top condition as well, but again, just really gives it more of a sort of car-like and luxury feel in the back of the van. As we start to look down the side of the vehicle then, as I say, you can just see here, looking in these reflections down the side of the van, how clean and tidy this is. There is literally no ripples, marks, anything to fault on this. It is in really stunning condition. The van has been lowered, so it's on 40mm lowering springs, just to reduce that ride height ever so slightly, and I find that a nice sort of sweet spot really. My van is on these exact wheels, but actually lowered to a similar sort of level to this, where as I say, it just helps the wheels sit in the arch that little bit nicer, but without taking away the practicality. Don't get me wrong, they look really nice when they're very, very low, but you're then forever worrying about speed bumps and all sorts of things. But this is I think a very nice middle ground. And as I mentioned, my van that I drive around in is on these same alloys. I absolutely love these. These are the Navis Twin 5 alloy Wheel, of course, finished in gloss black on this particular van. Of course, these are fully load rated with brand new load rated tyres. The whole setup on this van is brand new, so brand new suspension, brand new wheels and tyres. There's also a nice set of trapezoid sidebars there, which I think set it off very nicely. Up the top then, a nice set of roof bars and also a rear spoiler there as well, completing a really nice, subtle but certainly meaningful styling package to the side. As I mentioned, electric side loading doors. So there's a number of ways you can open these doors, one of which is like that, just by pulling on the handle. You can also do it on the key and on the dashboard as well. Inside here then, another factory optional extra, and this one's got the 2+1 rear seating configuration. Benefit of that is you can operate this seat completely independently of the double, so you can flip it up like that to give you some access there into the rear, but you can also fold it down, so you can pull on that little tab just there and you can actually fold that seat completely down flat if you want to. And of course you can do the same with this double seat as well, and these are quick release, so you can very easily remove these from the van. You can see this lovely overmat flows all the way through here into the front of the van as well. But again, you can just see the condition inside here. It is absolutely faultless. Incredible condition. Looking at the plastics, all of this sort of area, it's very common to see these sort of get scratched. Back of the seats, these plastics down here, this is, it's not a term I like to sort of use, but this is really as new. If it came out of the showroom absolutely brand new, this is, you wouldn't question it, I don't think, with this condition. It is that nice inside here. The step, and again into the front, these nice mats, and then another factory optional extra here then. This one has got cab carpet as well, which again just adds to that level of comfort and adds to that sort of car-like feeling. Single front seats, and of course you've got the twin adjustable armrests on each seat. You can of course set the height to each seat as well using the handle just here, and of course you've got backrest adjustability and lumbar support on those as well. We'll come around to a bit more of the spec on the driver's side in just a second. And then to shut the door, so you can pull one of the handles, the outer or the inner handle, walk away from it and let it do its thing. But yeah, you can just see here even the wing mirror covers are all spot on. It's looking very, very smart indeed. Round to the front of the van, pardon me. Round to the front of the van then. Front parking sensors come as standard, as I mentioned near the start of the video, but what doesn't come as standard are these headlights. So again, another fantastic tick on the options list on this one, and that is the LED upgraded headlights. Makes a huge difference from the standard headlights. Anyone who's experienced standard transporter headlights will know they're not the greatest, but these are a huge jump from those. I've mentioned many times in videos in the past, if I'm speccing one of these, that is the first one, that's the first option box that I am ticking from VW. Makes a big difference to the van in day-to-day life. Lots of nice changes here around to the front then as well. So we've got the full gloss black front grills here, so the upper grill, all the lower grills here behind the number plate as well, and also then a gloss black lower splitter. And all in all, I think that is just an absolutely stunning looking van with the gloss black elements, the wheels, the lowering sidebars, roof bars, rear spoiler. I think that looks absolutely fantastic in what is arguably the best colour for a transporter, and that is Ascot Grey. Certainly one of the most desirable colours whenever we get these things. Never hang around with us for very long. And for good reason. It just is a real classy, timeless colour and suits styling like this so well. Opening up the driver's side loading door then. I'm very envious of this, having the twin side loading door, but this looks, yeah, really smart here from this side. Again, with the condition, it's just really faultless. And then if we open up the driver's door then, we can start to have a look inside the cab here. So again, looking at the step, the floor in here with the carpet overmats, of course the cab carpet in the front, height adjustment as I mentioned, same as the passenger side, 2 full flip remote keys, and as I mentioned you can open up and close. This little tag will get out of the way. You can open and close the side loading doors using the buttons here on the key. So by pushing on these, you can actually open and close that as you're approaching the vehicle. So very nice, a bit of spec to have. Up on top here then we've got electric windows, electric heated folding mirrors. So folding mirrors is a nice Again, nice little optional extra just there, little subtle one, but certainly makes a difference. Into the middle then, we've got auto-activated lights, auto-activated wipers. Having a look at the dashboard, 5,353 miles. You can see us all idling there correctly, no warning lights or anything like that on the dashboard. And then into the center then, another big optional extra on this particular van, and that is that it's got the Discover Media satellite navigation. So not only does it give you satellite navigation, it gives you a larger screen than standard. It gives you, of course, App Connect, which you get on the normal screen, but crucially on Discover Media Nav, it gives you wireless App Connect. So as long as you've got your phone connected to this via Bluetooth, as soon as you jump in and you've already paired it previously, you can just have full screen Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on here without any wires at all. Absolute game changer, that. Down here then, heated seats, that's another factory optional extra. Air conditioning is as standard, heated windscreen, heated rear screen, and your recirculation button. As I mentioned, you can control the doors there from the dashboard. So if you've got children in the back or passengers in the back, you can open and close those doors just there from the dashboard. But crucially, you can turn the system off. So if you've got children in the back, you haven't got to worry about them just opening the doors when they think it's funny, as mine probably would. But so just to summarize then, an April 2024 on a 24 plate Volkswagen Transporter T6.1, so the facelifted 6th generation of the Volkswagen Transporter. T32, 3.2 tons gross vehicle weight, so this one is classed as a commercial vehicle for tax purposes. So if you're watching this as a business owner, that is certainly something to take note of. 2-litre bi-turbo TDI diesel engine, so 204 brake horsepower is the higher brake horsepower one that they have done in this model. So very, very nice to see that. Of course, accompanied with that fantastic 7-speed DSG automatic gearbox, short wheelbase, Highline Kombi, finished in the fantastic Ascot grey. Really, probably the ultimate list of factory spec. There's nothing that I can think of which I would want on a Transporter T6.1 in terms of factory spec that this hasn't got. Twin electric doors, LED headlights, Discover Media Nav, heated seats, rear camera, 2+1, cab carpet. It is a very, very impressive list, and it's a very, very much a complete van. And with no VAT to pay, one of this age, these are becoming so hard to get now, and we're seeing demand for these actually increasing even more than usual. These have always sold very, very well, but we're seeing demand for these increase even higher than usual with the sort of pushback on the new Transporter from a lot of previous Transporter owners. These are becoming incredibly desirable, and especially one in this spec, in this condition, this low miles. Yeah, hard to come by. And I say, like I said earlier in the video, if they all came in like this, it would make the job very, very easy indeed. If you'd like to see the full advert, if you haven't seen it already, I'd urge you to head over to our website there, bridgeendvans.co.uk, and that's where you'll find the price, the description and the photography of this van, and of course all of the others that we've currently got in stock at the moment. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us. We can take cars or vans in part exchange, we can deliver our vehicles nationwide, and we can also arrange finance at very competitive rates. Thank you very much for watching.